I remember as a child that there was this book on the bookshelves at home called With the 10th Essex in France, which is a regimental history from the First World War. At the time it didn't really mean much to me, but later on I found that we had a number of photographs and various other things, including a load of letters that one of my uncles had written to his mother at the time. On reading these letters, they're very personal, and they reveal quite a lot about him without ever revealing how awful it must have been being out there. And I just felt that comparing myself to him at the age he was, he died when he was 20, and I was thinking when I was 20 I was at university and running around and going to see bands and drinking and going to see the Clash, and it's nice to be able to give my uncle a voice for himself, to bring him alive to people today. What I have here is a photo of my father's two eldest brothers, Guy and Rex. Guy is on the left as you're looking at it, Rex on the right, and probably when they were about 11, I would imagine, and it was taken in, professional photo taken in a studio. The thing I find most remarkable is how much Rex, I think, looks like my middle brother, so carrying down through the family. At the bottom, and I find this really quite poignant, is the original envelope and the telegram that my grandmother received to inform her that her son had died, which was presumably not very long after the first one had died. And I can imagine that when she saw the postman walking down the drive that day, I can't imagine what she would have felt like, to be honest. That would have been her two eldest sons within a week or so of each other. My father was born in 1911, so he would have been a young child when the First World War broke out. But his two eldest brothers, Guy, the eldest one, and Rex, the second eldest one, joined up almost as soon as the war had started in 1914. And they both survived right through till 1917. We don't know much about Guy. I'm sure the material's out there somewhere, but I know Rex survived the whole of Gallipoli. I know he was in North Africa before he went to France and then to Belgium. And one day he discovered that his elder brother, Guy, was in the vicinity, his regiment was in the vicinity, so he went over to try and visit him, only to discover that he'd been killed only a couple of days earlier. This must have affected him incredibly badly, and I'm trying to remember back to when I was 20, and if I found out about how my big brother had died, how I would have felt, and all this in the backdrop of mud, guns, explosions, all the terrible things we know happened in the First World War. Anyway, for whatever reason, and probably it was for revenge, Rex was due to be part of an attack on a German pillbox, and the bombardment went ahead as planned. This was very early in the morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, and but for whatever reason they got the order through to cancel the attack, and my uncle called for some volunteers and went ahead with it anyway, and he and his sergeant and all the other men, apart from one, were all killed. And it's hard to kind of work out what his motivations might have been, but surely revenge must have been one of them. And it's quite interesting thinking of the morals of today, whether he would have been considered a hero or a fool, really, for disobeying orders and taking his men with him.